And we're live.
Yeah, you're live.
Good
Monday
evening.
night.
Yeah, everybody's live.
Geeky, I am feeling a lot better. It's almost like hour by hour for me, but this weekend has been good for me. So, knock on wood. Hey, Mama Z, how's your new place doing? Camp Patton, how goes it?
Sorry.
So we are going to Oregon this evening.
Oregon?
Oregano?
No, we're not going there.
So
We hail from there.
they hail from there.
Yes. We don't claim it, though. We're transplanting ourselves.
In Tennessee.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, so no Oregon for us. We have fled.
What parts of Tennessee are you? Well, we'll get into that here in a minute. Jerry, go ahead.
Sure.
Well, let's go ahead and bring them on in.
Okay. Let me find them here. Oh, there they are.
Trip H, how you doing?
Everybody say hello to Chris and Laura.
Hi.
Hey, guys. Nice to see you tonight.
And they are somewhere in Tennessee.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Much better over here in the eastern part of the country.
Well, I've been to a couple places in Tennessee. I've been to Bristol before. Are you anywhere close to Bristol?
No, we're in Middle Tennessee.
In the middle. Well, that puts you probably 4 hours from Bristol.
Well,
Yeah.
Andy and Dawn live close to right outside of Jackson, Tennessee.
That's more on the west side.
I have no idea.
So
None whatsoever.
Jackson, west of you is correct.
We are in Clarksville, Tennessee.
You're in Clarksville. So that puts you in the, well, are you close to Pigeon Forge or?
No, that's other side.
Okay.
Eastern, that's Eastern. Geeky Gardens, one of their sisters is ready to move out of Oregon too. How about that?
So this is a recent thing. You just moved from Oregon? Is that what it is?
Yeah, we bought property out here about a year ago, and we're slowly getting ready to come this way. So we sold our house in November, and then we made our way this way.
So I'm curious, the property you bought, did you buy a lot of property, or is it in town, out of town?
No, it's out of town. It's in the sticks. We got 160 acres.
Wow.
Yeah, so we kind of knew what we wanted. I came out here in 2020. Laura and I'd come out here once, and then I brought Laura out here to visit. We have family out this way, and then we looked at some property. We didn't look at the property that we ended up buying when she was here, and then I subsequently came out here another 3 times, and then she didn't actually see the property until the first time until we were here, which we got here on January 12th.
Surprise.
Yeah, so she saw plenty of pictures and videos and everything else, but she never actually saw the property with her own 2 little beady eyes until.
No.
Oh no! Wait a minute. I don't see beady eyes there. That's.
Oh, sorry, I was projecting.
Oh, okay.
So she got to see the property for the first time, and so it's been a challenge. It's all completely raw land, so we gotta. Right now we're in high gear, clearing right away through our entrance, what we call our driveway.
Mm-hmm.
We have about a 4,000 foot power run to take care of. At $11 a foot is not outstanding, we'll say.
Oh,
Yeah.
Smokes. Well, that's stout.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, no water, no power, no septic, so we are getting all that established. We do have a little tiny home that we put on it, and we are going to work on getting it finished out.
Yeah.
And but we've been doing a lot of lumberjacking. Matter of fact, we just came in late tonight because falling more trees.
Yeah,
Falling.
We have to fall trees.
Fall, whatever. We're felling,
Just
falling.
cut them down.
Come down.
Because we're making way for our power lines, so.
Yeah, we thought we had the trees, and they're like, no, okay. The Mr. Electric Man said this is what you need, and he came back out again and did the real deal measurements and everything else. We've already cut. I don't know. We've probably already cut 8 or 9, and there's probably 15 more to go.
Yeah.
Wow.
And some of these are really big trees. We just put a video out today of some of it, but we have a lot more to go.
Yeah, we had some big white oaks today.
Well, Chris, is this new to you? I mean, are you an old logger from way back, or?
No, I started using a chainsaw when I was about 11 at the old church. They needed some help, and back in those days, they put kids to work. So I learned how to use a chainsaw back then, but I worked in the oil field, but I'm an accountant. But I like doing physical work, and so it's good.
So we've been learning as we go along. We've got a tractor, we're learning about that.
Yeah, and not only that, there's some not painful physical lessons, but like today I thought I was going to fell this tree over into the kind of a creek area or down the slope, but the tree was actually overhanging the road a little bit, so opposite of really where I wanted. And it didn't work out ideally, we'll say. So I got into the cut, and then I pinched my Big Daddy saw, I call it. Pinched it on the bar, and then had to go in and rescue it with the Little Daddy saw, and needless to say, bent my bar all to heck.
We didn't catch that part on camera because I was worried. I'm like, I'm going to put the camera down and watch this tree because it could fall any moment.
It was less than ideal, we'll say. So there's definitely some learning curves, and a couple weeks ago we came in and did a good bit of felling, and it went pretty smooth. I was like, hey, there's nothing to it. And then we went out last week, and or what was it, Thursday, I think it was, and man, you'd think I'd never cut a tree in my entire life. It was just an absolute mess.
Just a hard time.
Well, is the overall terrain where you're at right now a lot different from what you had in Oregon?
Yes.
Yeah, in Oregon, we actually, it was kind of cool because we were backed up to a park, and we're at the end of a dead-end road on a cul-de-sac, and it was pretty nice. But we had a 1/4 acre, but on that 1/4 acre, we raised meat birds, chickens, rabbits, turkeys. We had 2 ducks, Mario and Luigi, fine little fellows they were. But, so we and Laura had an incredible garden. I mean, the tomato plants are taller than me.
And
by a good
6'10", so.
Yeah, so.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's kind of where we started it. We kind of started all this in response to Hong Kong flu, if you know what I mean. And, so we, like in our house, we wired in a backup generator running on natural gas. We ran gas lines in our house because it didn't have gas for the stove. And we kind of started building in some redundancy once we kind of saw how weak the supply chain was. And we're kind of just continuing that now just in kind of a bigger way as we establish our property.
Yeah. So we're starting from scratch.
Yeah.
How big of a home are you wanting?
Well, right now we just our little tiny home's 14 by 48, so it's cozy. And
we get to finish that out inside, so that should be interesting.
Yeah. So and we're learning all this stuff as we go. We're not. Again, I wasn't a lumberjack. Never been a logger. I worked I was in the Army. Then I had a choice to go work for the railroad or go work in the oil field. The railroad said I'd be gone all the time. I said, oh, I can't do that. So I went in the oil field, and I was gone all the time. And then when the bottom dropped out in 08, didn't hit I was in Colorado at the time, and then in 09, I went back to school and got my degree in accounting, and then after that, so I've been working, doing accounting work, but I'm not liking office work so much. So,
yeah.
Not my thing.
He likes getting his hands dirty.
Yep. I'm ready to go play in the dirt.
Well, I'm still more curious here about your property.
Sure.
I mean, obviously this is a big undertaking, so I'm assuming, especially since you have an accounting background, apparently.
Yeah.
It's one of the things you probably developed some sort of a 3 to 20-year plan somewhere in there.
No, I mean, not so much. I mean, we were able to kind of turn our house, kind of use the profits from our house to kind of cash flow this thing in a lot of ways, but we really are, nuts and bolts. We try to go get free pallets. I mean, we're kind of trying to do everything as much as we can to maximize resources, and where we can put in our own, blood, sweat, and tears into it, we're doing it. So
yeah.
Well, I guess what I meant was, I'm assuming that let's say by the end of this year you have plans to have maybe your electric in the house done, or maybe the septic, and then next year you're going to move on and create other areas, and or am I just, have you not even thought about it?
Yeah, absolutely. So this year, as soon as we finish clearing the right of way right now, we're ready to go give the power company our check. So they're probably 2 to 3 weeks out. So the next month we could have power run. I think we're still about 2 months out on getting a well dug. We've been on a 6-month waiting list.
Mm-hmm.
So yes, so this year, power, water. We're going to do some rainwater harvesting with some totes, some IBC totes, gutters for gardens. We may be composting for a little while.
We started composting already.
Yeah, as far as toilet facilities until we can get septic in. But yeah, so this year that's kind of those big three. That's our plan there. But then also intermediate or adjacent to that or parallel with that is getting our soil tested. And then also we just burned basically 40 acres in our interior, which is where our homestead is. And so we just got all that burnt. We need to do soil samples. After we get the soil samples, we'll figure out how much lime we got to get put on. So that'll happen probably July-ish for lime, and then planting in the fall to establish pasture. That's kind of our that's kind of our immediate 1-year plan.
Yeah. We want to get animals and, do all the regular homesteading stuff and
chickens and all that good stuff.
Well, I know that it's a lot of work to set up the infrastructure on a homestead from scratch. I mean, you figure fencing, you figure barns and areas for the livestock if you have livestock, not to mention the equipment. And you indicated you got a tiny home?
Yeah.
Yeah, we have a tiny home.
Now is that
we're in rental right now. We have a lease till January. So the plan is to get out of here before then. But there's some challenges. We really wanted to get a pole barn built as well. But with the way the economy is going and input prices and everything else, we're not sure if that's actually going to be able to happen this year.
And we happen to move to an area, Clarksville is booming. Everybody's moving here, and so it's hard to get anybody to come and help our work, anyways.
Yeah, there's a tremendous amount of building going on, and we're an hour out, so getting folks out there is going to be even more difficult. So a lot of it, everything we can do ourselves, we'll do ourselves.
Well, it sounds extremely interesting. I actually work with a bunch of Amish fellas that build pole barns.
Oh, nice.
And so I'm very familiar with the steps required to do that. I cannot get over how fast they can do it.
Yeah, I mean, I really like their work. The Mennonites built their little tiny home. So. Mm-hmm.
Now, is this one that, in essence, it's like a glorified shed that was just trailered out?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So it's like a shed to home kind of build, and we have to finish the inside. So.
Right.
Would you share with us the dimensions?
Yeah, it's 14 by 48.
14 by 4. Oh, that's bigger than a lot.
Yeah.
It's bigger than a lot of them. So that's not so bad.
It should be okay. I mean, when we lived in downtown Portland, we had an apartment that was about that size. So I mean, we could work it. But now we have a lot more stuff, but at the end of the day, we're going to have to make that, go left or go right. And if we're going to try to build a fairly expensive barn just to store stuff, it's not very economical, we'll say.
When you were in Oakland, did you have livestock out there, or did you have a homestead out there, or is this something you're developing here?
A 1/4 acre of land, and we homesteaded on that 1/4 acre.
Okay.
So meat chickens, processing chickens. So we supplied a lot of our own meat.
Yeah.
We raised turkeys and processed that. We raised rabbits and processed those. We haven't done pigs or cattle.
No, we couldn't do any of those. We were in a
and we had
city.
A garden.
Well, when you're ready for pigs, Big Bear Homestead can help you there. Trip H Farm is asking, have you looked for any local sawmills for the trees you're taking down?
Yeah, that's kind of interesting. We actually have, and right now the going price is $6 a ton. So we have an area of about 30 acres.
It's $6 a ton for pine.
I know.
Okay.
We have an area right now that we're looking at that's about 30 acres, and it's the majority of it's pine. There's hardwood. We're basically up on top of a ridge, and then it falls off on all the sides around us to creeks. But they're wanting to come in and harvest it. We can't buy a 2x4 for what they want to give us on a per ton price. And so we're kind of looking at some options with maybe a little hydraulic bandsaw mill, to go ahead and basically take that, to turn that into something. I don't know that we'd necessarily sell it, but we could do a lot of stuff with our own wood and process it right on our own property.
Oh, yeah, very true.
Especially for ag buildings and stuff. That doesn't have to be stamped wood. So.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, exactly. And it doesn't have to be. Luckily, where we're at, there's no building codes. The only thing we have to have permitted is septic, and we have to have an electrical inspection. That's it.
Well, Trip H Farm is obviously in the chat here. Please take note of them. He has a sawmill.
Uh-huh.
And he travels.
And he would be a good one to get information about sawmills. And I'll just share some of these sources with you, if you like. But Trip H Farm is a good source.
Okay.
Yeah, they are out of Arkansas. But Kyle's a good guy. Kyle and
Big Bear is out of Georgia. He's a little bit south of you, but they're good at harvesting. And he's getting very deep into harvesting livestock, but he's good with cows and pigs and ducks and chickens and
yep.
And of course there's others out there. There's others out there as well. But
and Trip H says if you want to try small sawmill before you buy your your own, you're welcome to come see his operation.
Yeah. Yeah, we might have to do that. I mean, it's, there's a big learning curve to everything, so we're definitely willing and wanting to learn a lot of things, and we're definitely learning a lot as
we're excited to learn things, and
yeah.
We learned so much in the last couple of years just on our little homestead, and I mean, we processed our own chicken and processed our own turkey and rabbits, and
yeah, and we had a great garden, and we had all of our property was south. It wasn't south facing, but the south facing exposure was huge cedar trees. So we didn't have hardly any sun. It was a miracle you could actually get. Again, these tomato plants were probably 8 feet tall.
Wow!
And it was just amazing what she could get out of them. She did a great job.
I'm just kind of glancing back through the chat here myself. So, folks, if you've got any questions, please put them all in caps and forward them with 3 or 4 question marks or something that makes it just jump out a little bit easier for us to see.
Yeah, all caps. Make sure you get your name on the wheel for your chance to win a $2 bill.
Oh, you don't see those much anymore.
Well, we give away 2 every week.
Nice.
And for those that are so inclined to maybe join our channel and help support us that way, if you are a member of our channel, we'll pay your membership fee for that month, in addition to the $2. So, just another little
added incentive.
Little perk.
Yep.
And we've kind of just been out of the loop here for a while. We've had Sherry's had some issues with different things and
medical issues,
and she's just not been able to do this. So I have to tell you, folks, when it came to her or the channel, well, she's first, and so the channel just was pretty much forgotten about.
Yeah, it went by the wayside. Well, you did a few.
I did a few, but
when Kara was still here.
Yeah, we just didn't do a whole lot. Our garden turned into a beautiful, absolutely wonderful weed garden.
Yeah,
we have.
Doesn't take long for that.
Yeah,
right?
Nature will cover it herself, as they say.
Oh,
no, we got it started, and then I went in to have surgery, and that was it. I was in the hospital for a month, so.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's hard. I don't ever want to visit one of those institutions ever again in my entire life.
I said, after tonight, I will be disqualified from your giveaways for a month. Why would that be, Caitlin? Did you see that?
Mm-hmm.
What is she talking about? Anyway. So, do you have any, did you leave anybody behind in Oregon? I guess is the way I'm gonna lead into this. Do you have any kids?
We do.
We do. My kids are, they were adults, so we didn't really leave them behind in Oregon. We did foster care in Oregon, and we left a foster child. We had to do that.
Yeah.
Because he wasn't really adoptable. But all our children are adults, and so.
Yeah. My son came with us, and he came with us, and my mom also came with us, so we are all under the same roof. So that's exciting.
But it's also a family thing, and that's pretty neat.
Yeah.
That's pretty neat.
Yeah, we and Chris's family's here in Tennessee, so we have family here as well. I have one child in Oregon and a grandchild in Oregon, And then my other two children already lived away, so in California. So it wasn't too much to, I mean, it's not like we were leaving them there.
Right.
So,
Well, I was just trying to come up with a good way just to, bump in and say, hey, do you have any kids? What's up?
yeah.
Right,
So.
yeah. Well, the interesting thing is that it's, I mean, people that look at the news and they say, oh, what is Portland like? I mean, it's pretty much all true and then some.
Yeah.
So there's not a lot of exaggeration. If anything, it's probably understatement with kind of the current climate. And I guess without getting too far in any kind of politics, it's just property rights are getting eroded kind of on a daily basis, and that's really a shame. And that's really a lot of the reasons why we left, because when your property rights don't mean anything anymore, then that's a really slippery slope. So, and that's really the large part of why we left, to keep it simple.
Yeah.
We have a fellow that we met out here that he's a tractor salesman for Mabel. And Mabel's our tractor. And because she ain't too pretty, but she ain't too ugly, she's Mabel. But he says, I don't know who's lying, but somebody's lying. And it's like, that is just such a great line. It's not political. It doesn't matter what you believe, but I don't know who's lying, but somebody's lying. Right? There's a lot of wisdom in that. So
Big Bear just posted that you don't look old enough to have grown kids, let alone grandkids.
Oh, thank you.
Oh, wow. Well, I'm the older one of us, so.
Oh, just a few.
Yeah. I'm 13 days older than her. So. But yeah. So anyway, it's interesting. It's a beautiful area, though. If you guys have ever been out to the Northwest, I mean, you have the ocean a couple hours away. You have the mountains, go skiing, snowmobiling, all that kind of stuff. It's a really nice area.
Well, I've never left anything there, so I have no reason to go back.
Yeah, well, there you go.
Sherry has family out in California.
Yes, I do.
But
Yeah, my daughter and my son's in California, and she keeps on asking me to visit. I'm like, I really don't want to go there.
but where?
Yeah, Daryl has no desire to go to California. It's like, no. I have my sister and nieces and nephews in California. I have a niece in Arizona.
I think there's something wrong with her for even wanting to be there.
It's warm. It was 18 degrees this morning, Daryl.
Well, not everywhere, just here.
Bad enough.
It's 40 degrees, 45 degrees here this morning. So.
But it's going to be 70 Wednesday.
Speaking of learning things, that's kind of one of the Mabel's taken a beating lately. She's had some road rash on her. It's not great to report. This is I do just have a little picture here. I can show it to you pretty easily. Probably you should be able to see this. I don't know how well you can see that. That's Mabel.
Okay.
Mabel the tractor.
All right.
So it's got our little logo on the wheel, and she's John Deere green. But yeah, she's got beat up a little bit, and unfortunately,
he's awful fond of his tractor.
I'll tell you, we knew going into this that we'd need a tractor, but we didn't even realize how much we'd need a tractor. It's off the charts with all the stuff that we have to do and get done. Right now, we have probably 12 trees in our kind of our little landing area that we've already kind of pulled out of our driveway where the power line has to come through. In bush hogging, that interior field's 40 acres. We got probably half of it done before we realized we could burn the whole thing. And the burning was way better. So, a lot cheaper, but the fire season maybe is like there for you guys in Ohio too. Fire season is now until May. Is that right for you guys too, or no?
I can't answer that. As far as I do know that later on they will have times when they pretty well announce it, no open fires.
Okay.
But I don't think that it's set in stone by date.
Oh, I see. Here it's from October to May, so it was a little unusual for us. So
Yeah.
but we got the field burned. Basically, the whole interior of the field burned, and because it was a broom sage, if you guys are familiar with that.
I am.
So,
I don't.
yeah.
But go ahead and explain, because I'm sure there's a lot of people here that have not.
Yeah. So we didn't know anything about it either, but broom sage is just a weed, and it grows in lime deficient soil basically. So you guys got to check out the video if you want to go see it, but you can look on our channel. All I did was flick the lighter one time on it, and it literally, the whole field was pretty much up and gone off just one flick.
Yeah.
It's amazing. We had no idea how flammable this stuff was.
Yeah.
So it's pretty scary stuff, actually, because this stuff was about 5+ feet tall.
Wow.
And it burned it all up, which was great.
We got a permit because
And it did it in a hurry.
It did it in a hurry, yeah.
Yeah.
We were spending a lot of money on diesel, and the fire people came over and said, you can burn this, and we're
Right.
planning to burn your neighbor's property, all his broom sage, and would you like us to do yours too? And
Well, we didn't want them to do it, though, because that cost $42 an acre, but we could do it ourselves for free, so we scored on that one. But, yeah, so it worked out really well, and then not only that, a lot of nitrogen will get back into the soil, and, this land has just been raw land. It used to be timber tracts, and then they came in and cleared it all out and sold it, so.
Do you have any ponds on your property?
Any what?
Any ponds?
No, but we're gonna have one.
Okay.
Yes, indeed.
That excavator that you're going to get is going to make that pond for you, right?
Yeah. I tell you what, I'd like to get me a bulldozer, but there's just no money in the budget for a bulldozer, unfortunately.
yeah.
Stinking equipment is just ridiculously expensive right now for everything.
Yeah.
It is, but there is also still a lot of good older stuff out there.
Yeah. Do you have any good resources that you use for that? Ritchie Brothers or anything like that, or other folks? Or just local?
Just local. I know that there's some stuff out there. So.
Yeah. I mean, that would be ideal, but the thing is that we can have a guy come in and dig a pond for us in 2 days. And right now, if I went over to Sunbelt and wanted to rent me a bulldozer, it's like $8,000 for a month.
Right.
So.
Right. And that's not a real big one.
No, that's like a 90 horsepower. But the reality of those is I can have the fella come from down the road and come do it. He can spend 2 days and I can pay him $4,000, and he knows what he's doing, and it'll take me a while to figure it out. So.
Exactly. Are you familiar with Hamiltonville Farm?
Yeah, I am. I've watched some of his stuff as well. Yep.
Okay, and he rented a dozer for his place, and went through a learning curve, and
Justin.
I think he will tell you that it's cheaper just to hire somebody that knows what they're doing and get them in, let them do it, get it out. So.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we did. We cleared our whole pad for our tiny home. So the one saving grace where we never would have done the interesting thing is this: the broom sage is super flammable. We didn't have any idea how much so, but we had a huge house pad already built. Our house pad, or scraped and dug, and our house pad's probably Geez, I don't know. It's probably 150 yards by 80 yards, or more than that. It might even be more than that. But so we had already had this perimeter hard cut around our whole property because we used a box blade and dug it all down and did all this. But had we not had that, that's the scary thing is, not knowing how flammable that stuff was.
Oh yeah.
We could have been in some serious trouble. Let's just say something got sparked accidentally.
Sure.
And you wouldn't even know it. I mean, that stuff would be on you so quick. It really is scary.
Well,
so I'm glad to know about it now.
And water is a scarce resource at the moment.
Yeah, it's especially scarce on our homestead since we don't have any.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, so.
Well, we have.
They need water that you can actually not drink.
Creeks, creeks, but that's about it.
There definitely are some seasonal creeks that we have running down all around our property, but again, they're seasonal.
Our natural spring runs, I think, year round.
No.
No?
Doesn't.
Are you a hunter? Are you an outdoorsman, hunter, fisherman?
Yeah, absolutely.
And
so,
Laura, are you?
What's that?
Is Laura a hunter?
She will be.
Yeah. Willing to learn.
She will be. She's not yet, though.
Mm-hmm.
But she's definitely an eviscerator. She's the chicken eviscerator. I was the dispatcher, so.
And I've dispatched the chickens, too, but not as much as you have.
I think she's done one.
No.
Mm-hmm.
No,
it was just one. So, but I can't get my hands inside the chickens for obvious reasons. I can't.
Chris is 6'10" and he's got nice big hands, and you can't put those hands in a chicken.
Yeah, it doesn't work. Turkeys are good.
6'10".
Yeah. Just a tad tall.
Tall and fat. That's a weird combination.
Daryl, why don't we go ahead and spin the wheel? It's 20 till, so let's get one going.
Go ahead and keep talking here, and I'll get it lined up.
Get it lined up. Yeah, Getting Started on Homesteading said they were in Clarksville yesterday, I think it said.
Oh, nice.
Oh, today. They were there today. It's an hour from them. Yeah.
That's pretty close.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So
you're a really good channel. I like them.
Yeah. You have to hopefully make some of the get-togethers coming up.
Yeah.
Yeah, we definitely want to do that. We're in a. I don't know. I think we have maybe 3 more days of trying to get this driveway, this right-of-way cut. Just so they can put the power line through there, because it has to be 40 feet, 20 feet either side of the line, but ground to sky.
Mm-hmm.
That's what the wire has to be able to come through.
Mm-hmm.
So, and once all these trees are cut, again, there was I don't know, this must be about a 34-inch tree. I cut it up a little bit high, but it was definitely the biggest tree we've cut so far. So prior to that was like a 27-inch tree.
Okay, I got the wheel all set here. So let me fade over into that, and we will go ahead and give her a spin.
Oh, that's cool.
And it looks like the first winner tonight is Hat Creek Homestead.
Oh, congratulations.
Hat Creek Homestead. Please send an email to twofamilyhomestead@gmail.com. Give us your mailing address, and we can send you out a $2 bill.
Yeah.
So, Hat Creek Homestead. Now, Hat Creek Homestead, I'm not going to take your name off the wheel, but should it come up again tonight, we will just spin again. We're not going to give you 2 in the same night. But you can play again next week and the week after and the week after. So All right, Hack Creek Homestead. Thank you. So, folks, doesn't cost you anything. Just put your name on the wheel. There's a link in the description below. There is a link pinned to the top.
I also just posted it.
And Sherry also just posted it. So, get your name on the wheel there.
And I'll be doing the monthly Layman's Skillet giveaway, since this is the April starts, what, Thursday?
Something
Friday?
like that. So this weekend?
Probably, yeah.
Probably this weekend.
Yep.
Okay. Well, the time is definitely flying.
Oh, it is.
It is. It's crazy. It's like 18 degrees, snow today, and spring is here. What the heck? But we're in Ohio.
Yeah.
Are you guys big The Ohio State University fans?
I wouldn't say big, but yeah, I am.
Yeah, sort of.
They have a cure for that, you know.
Keep it up. Keep it up. A good friend of mine is a Michigan fan, so her and I go around and around with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, he just thinks it's funny that they always have to say the Ohio State when they're announcing themselves.
Oh,
yeah.
So it's just kind of.
Yeah. Well, was it 2 years ago I made that blanket for Sue? On one side it was fleece. On one side it was OSU, and on the other side it had Wolverines.
Michigan, yeah.
Yeah. Because her husband is OSU and she's Michigan, so.
Nice.
Oh, that's a big, let me think, what do they call that every year? So like Michigan, or someone doesn't Ohio State where they take M's out of everything when they go to play Michigan, is that right? When it's Michigan week?
It's just pretty much always been a big rivalry.
Right.
I don't know any other way to say it. It gets out of hand sometimes. So what's next on your agenda? You're almost ready for him to put the electric in.
Yeah, that should be probably next month and a half, I'm saying. Yeah, I mean.
And then we gotta start finishing up tiny home, don't we?
Yeah, we gotta start framing in earnest on tiny home. So that's kind of the next thing. As soon as we get this, we should hopefully, if the weather holds, we'll get the right of way cleared this week, and then we just have to go give them our tiny little check.
Is your power coming in underground or above ground?
We wish.
Absolutely, we wish, but the overhead is $11 a foot, and conduit is $10 a foot right now. So $10 a foot, and I figured we could maybe do it for $6 a foot ourselves, but I'm guessing. So we'd be at $16 a foot with conduit, plus the electric company still wants their money, so it'd be $27 a foot to run underground. So there's not a snowball's chance in Hades that that's happening.
Wow.
Yeah, it would be a tremendous amount of money. So we would love to be underground, but the economics aren't there. Originally we were going to try to do solar, but once we kind of costed all that out and realized solar is like $50,000, by the time you get some pretty decent batteries, it doesn't make sense, and then you're limited. I have a lot of woodworking equipment, planers and table saws, and all this hydro appliances, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
And so that wouldn't have worked. And then again, the cost would basically be about $50,000 for roughly about a 15K system. Which 15K is a good bit.
Yeah, you indicated seasonal streams, so you don't have year-round running water.
Yeah, we don't. It's not year-round. Okay. That's correct. So
we're doing a well too.
Yeah, we have to get the well.
That's another reason why we need the electric up, is for the well is also. So.
Yeah. So yeah, that's kind of what's in the immediate future, and getting a tiny home livable. Another interesting thing that we never would have thought we ran across, which was a big problem, was it's got a gambrel roof, barn style roof.
Mm-hmm.
and it doesn't have soffits, so therefore it doesn't have eaves, so there's no ventilation coming across, through the top into what would be a attic. And so the only solution that I found, and I just had to search high and low for this, is you have to do closed cell foam across the top, and then we closed cell foam underneath because it sits up on blocks, and then we need to also get it anchored to the earth. But the issue is that it has double bubble in the roof, and so the insulators are saying you have to cut all that double bubble out of the whole entire ceiling because the foam goes on too hot and it'll leave voids. And so that's another kind of issue we're running into. So, problems to be solved.
Yeah, that's one of the issues I think people run into on the pre-built tag-along tiny homes.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Where they're that way.
Yeah, and that's the only good answer we've got. We did have one spray foam guy say, "Oh yeah, I'll just spray right over it, no big deal." But then a big outfit that's local to here says, "No, we won't do that." And so, I always want to err on the side of caution, especially if you're talking about moisture, condensation, and then mold, mildew, and all the rest of the nice goes with that.
So, but you could also plan ahead and. Because do you have an equipment barn yet? I mean,
do we what?
Do you have an equipment barn for Mabel and your other necessary toys?
Mabel, that poor girl, she's out in the rain and she's getting the beating.
So, I mean,
it's in perks.
You could, for probably a lot less money than you think, you could create I'm going to use the term barn dominium, where you could build yourself a pole barn that's half home and half equipment shed.
Yeah, and we definitely we've done circles here on this idea. What I really want to do is build an ICF house. If you guys are familiar with that,
I am.
Insulated concrete form.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I really want to do because of storm resistance, pest resistance, these kind of things. But just the money right now, we don't have that kind of money to build something like that. But that's kind of the eventual dream, is to be able to have an ICF house. You're right about the post frame, and that's why we want to do. That's kind of why we're looking at the sawmill. Both myself and my brother going in on it. And then we could do all of our own beams and whatnot, which would save us a lot of money.
Yeah. We do have a lot of pine as far as on our property as well as and hardwood.
Yeah.
But so it should be interesting what we can do with that.
Right. Yeah.
A few folks here that have come in later are asking how many acres do you have and animals?
160 acres, and Laura doesn't count as an animal, does she, besides the 2 dogs?
We don't have any animals yet. We're not even living on the property yet, so it's kind of hard to have animals.
Yeah, as soon as we have water, and as soon as we can get water and electricity, we will definitely be out there just as soon as we can, because we want to be on our land. That's the dream. That's what all this work that we've been doing is for.
Mm-hmm.
And we have an absolutely amazing view from our front porch, looking east into nothing but down into a creek bed and then trees for miles.
Wow.
So we're actually interesting the way it sits, because we're sat between, if you want to look like this, we're sat between 2 properties in the middle of a V. And so it's really nice. And our interior of our property, and any of you guys that want to go see it, I have plenty of drone footage on there. You can actually see, if you go look at the tiny home video that's right on our community tab, you can see all of the way the land is kind of laid out. It's really nice. I mean, we call it, it's basically our heaven on earth. And but the only thing that was really disappointing was we had the tiny home going in, and I had all these grand thoughts. I was going to get this great footage. I launched the drone, and Laura's driving, and I'm following it in. I turn the drone around, and I'm facing the truck as it's coming in. I'm getting close to our driveway, and I backed the drone into a tree and crashed it. And then I was in such a Twitter that I didn't hit stop recording on my phone. I was like, hurry up, we got to get back so I can get my tractor so we can find the drone. And if I would have stopped recording, I would have had the video, and it would have been pretty good video because it was the whole kind of entrance of the tiny home coming in. And but I lost it all. It was pretty heartbreaking. So,
well, you could try it again.
Yeah.
We'll just get another tiny home and try it all over again.
I'll tell you with the prices, they've already raised their prices $2,000 since January on just the raw shell. So if we were going to do this again, we'll build our own. We have the blueprint right on our property, and we could literally build it for maybe $8,000. At the very most, $10,000 all in. And that would be with crazy prices, for lumber. It's $7.75 last time we looked at 2x4. So, but so we would just do it ourselves, and we kind of tossed around that. We tossed around digging a basement because we need a storm shelter, and we definitely need that. And we just got to figure out that piece yet. We're still working on it.
Right before we came here, the tornadoes went.
Oh yeah, in Mayfield, and horrible.
And so we're not so far from there, and so that kind of put a burr under us to make sure that we get that built.
Yeah, I don't need to be like Enoch getting sucked up in a whirlwind, and he was no more.
So let me just put out a last call. If there's anybody out there that does not have their name on the wheel, now's the time to do it. We'll have one more drawing here in just a couple minutes, and that will be it for the night. So if you don't have your name on the wheel, the link's pinned to the top. There's a link in the description below the video. And Sherry Nana's Menagerie has also put a link in there. So
yeah, Trip H. Kyle said they bought a drone, and he has a total of 3 minutes.
I can see it. I mean, the moral of the story is because we were all around trees, was you don't back up with your camera not facing the trees. So. Luckily, we didn't.
Yeah, we didn't have a drone with the sensors.
It does.
In the back?
It does. Yeah, it has sensors all around it. But it's all about,
It's a big learning curve.
Well,
and
I thought it was
windy.
pretty easy.
It was really windy that day too, so that didn't help.
Yeah, I think it's pretty cool. I mean, I'm pretty impressed. I mean, with what we have for the videos, you guys can see it on our page. There's some pretty neat footage, and I mean, I'm no expert. I literally just unpacked it, put it on the hood of my truck, and took off. So, I found it to be pretty intuitive for the most part, and man, you definitely get some great shots, which is really cool.
Yeah, I'm just kind of glancing down through some of your videos here. Looks like you got a lot of interesting stuff there, So, folks, go check out Hedgehog's Homestead. And, hey, go ahead and click that subscribe button. I see him sitting right now at like 693. We got to get him up to at least 700 tonight. So.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. And we appreciate everybody that comes out. And, we're just trying to put good content out there and, trying to do a good job. And just it's kind of neat when we get comments and people say, oh, well, how about this? Or, what about that? Or have you thought about this? I mean, the information that we've got, Laura started all this is the reality of it. She started, this is a way for her to learn. And so she started this whole journey on YouTube by watching people, living traditions, good, simple living, these kind of folks. And she just started watching them and she's like, I can do that. I can, and that's how she's taught herself to garden. Just a tremendous resource. So I'll definitely say that it's been a great thing overall, and we're just trying to keep doing a good job, and trying to get good video products out there. And we've been working on our sound, and that's starting to come together now. Because we've been having a problem with sound because Laura has kind of a soft voice, and but we got our Rode wireless mics, and now that we kind of got them dialed in, I mean, we're really excited about that. Thanks, Camo and Bo. Really excited about that because
thank you.
It's a big piece. People have to be able to hear you. So.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, you ready to spin the wheel one more time?
Yep.
Okay, here we go. Let me get this switched over to the wheel. And give her a spin. Well, I think I know this lady.
Mama Z's Texas Kitchen.
Mama Z.
Nice.
Congratulations, Mama Z.
Mama Z, drop us an email.
Yeah, Mama Z has a new address, so I need that because they just recently moved.
There's definitely a lot of folks moving across the country.
Mm-hmm.
That is an interesting part of this whole piece. Us moving was that we could not for the life of us. We couldn't get, before I've used, like Old Dominion where you can rent their trailer. You can do the whole 28 foot or you can do a portion of it. It worked out really well. I went ahead and thought I booked it back in late November, and it turns out it really wasn't a reservation until you call them. And so I find this out kind of late in the game. And, but it was ridiculous. A U-Haul from Portland to Clarksville was $11,000.
Oh, wow.
For U-Haul. And we ended up doing the pack rats, which is like the same as same pack rat pods, the little containers.
Mm-hmm.
And it worked out okay, but it was just stupid how much it cost. It was more than that, we'll say, by another $5,000.
When we moved here, we moved your mother as well.
Yeah.
Here with us.
Well, but just how much? I mean, there's so much movement across the country that everything we couldn't have got one of those, like a trailer, a full-size trailer until like February or something. We had to be out of our house by January 11th, I think was the date. So yeah, there's a lot of pressure from east to west and people moving from the coasts. So there's a lot of dang stuff going on.
Okay. See, we need to clean out the trailer so you can rent it out.
Okay.
There you go.
And I do want to point out here that Mama Z not only gets the $2, but because she is a channel member, she will get her channel membership sent with $2 for this month.
Well, there you go. You can't beat that with a stick.
So,
as she just said, they paid $450 just going from southeast Texas to north central.
Yeah. Yes,
it's crazy.
Yeah, it is crazy. And then now, I mean, we weren't even dealing with the horrible fuel prices that are on us now. So
Sherry does not allow me to talk about that kind of stuff.
About what stuff?
You're forbidden?
Yeah, I'm forbidden.
What stuff?
That political stuff.
He's not supposed to talk about.
Yeah, this isn't a political channel.
Yeah.
Especially for the putts that we have as chief.
Well, what's interesting is one of my accounting professors, he says poly and ticks. Poly meaning many, and ticks being blood-sucking insects.
There they go. Yep, there's enough of them in there.
Definition.
Yeah, we're not a political channel either, but yeah.
We would be. but I'm forbidden too.
Yeah.
We are also on
Rumble,
and I figured if he needs to vent, he can go.
You could rumble on that.
There you go.
Although, I don't even watch the news anymore, so I guess I see what I need to see. I did see that Will Smith got a little excited about Chris Rock.
Yeah, I haven't read all what was going on. I read that he slapped him, but I haven't gone into depth with all that.
Yeah, I saw that, and I was like, well, if he was a real man, he would have punched him, so I don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
So I don't watch, I'll tell you.
We don't have a lot of time to watch anything, really.
No, we don't, but I'll tell you, though, that since when I was chained to my office chair, I would look at the news, all day long because I didn't have a lot else to do. And I'm definitely glad that I don't have that much free time anymore because it's just depressing, I guess we'll just say that. I don't want to get forbidden either.
Well, we appreciate you both here this evening. I hope that we got you a few new fans. People watch out for you and maybe introduce a couple of people to you that you can reach out to for some resources here. So.
Yeah, absolutely, and we sure appreciate the time. We appreciate you guys having us up and giving us the opportunity to be able to connect with some of the folks in your audience and connect with you guys as well. So we definitely want to, in the future, get together with some of these meet and greets over in the Ohio countryside and whatever they may be.
Well, do stay in touch.
And for those that are interested, we have Monday evenings, quite a few Monday evenings open since we just started this back up again. In fact, at this point, we still have next Monday open. So, and then the 11th is City Girl Country Heart. That's the only one we have so far scheduled for April.
Okay, so anybody in the chat there that's maybe wants to join us in the evening, jump in there. So. With that,
appreciate you guys.
Oh, it was a nice evening. Glad it was nice having you on.
Yes, thanks so much. Have a nice evening, and remember.
You guys do the same. Thanks so much. Take care.
So remember, you can't hum if you're holding your nose. You can't hum. Good night, folks.
Take care, everybody.
We'll see you.